I was scrolling on LinkedIn a week ago and I saw a post from Dave Rigotti from inflection.io, and it stopped me in my tracks because it said, harsh reality, but if you're a new VP of marketing, I'm reading it from here, or CMO, you have 30 days to make a material impact on lead and pipeline volume. Um, and One, I think this just kind of talks through, yes, he calls it the harsh reality, but unrealistic expectations of what's on VPs of marketing CMO, that they need to prove themselves from like day one. But it is what it is. And in some ways, you kind of do need to kind of build that trust with the revenue team. But I do think sometimes that's taking a bit too far from the board, when a lot of the time that puts this unnecessary kind of rush to do something, and the rest of the team kind of feels that pain. But I do think that there's opportunity within the first 30 days to focus in an area that, in my opinion, is not how to make an impact on your lead or pipeline volume. I think if you're really focused on an area that you can make an impact in the first 30 days, and also that drives the company, I would focus on revenue. um, and so, one thing to focus on first is maybe looking at what your conversion rate is from your pipeline to closed won revenue. Yes, you want to look at maybe some of your other conversion rates too, as there's probably a lot of quick wins hiding underneath there. But oftentimes we'll see a disconnect between the conversion rates through the funnel, and then you get to your pipeline to one conversion and it's super low. It could be like 4%, or even lower than that, or just like sub 10%. And that just causes this issue where you are reliant on just creating more pipeline for sales, and it just gets pushed out every quarter, or it's just not closing. And so it doesn't matter how many leads or pipeline you have, if you're not converting that to revenue, that's not what's going to drive the business. So I would say for CMOs, that's an area to focus on, because historically too, if they didn't have a strong CMO who's aligning to sales, there's probably not a lot that's been done on the sales side to figure out how marketing can help improve that sales cycle. Also, marketing kind of feels like they need to be hands off sometimes from open opportunities in pipeline, when it should be completely the opposite. We should be figuring out how to nurture those people along better, how to drive pipeline acceleration programs like targeted dinners, or other types of campaigns, building assets for sales that they can leverage and use to help further educate the buyer. And um, so I would say focus there. That's like the number one thing that I would say do, is focus on your revenue first. And you also then build that relationship with sales and create that alignment and rapport that's so needed for a revenue team to perform. And then, yeah, of course, build pipeline, but that's one area that you can focus on within the first 30 days that I think will have a bigger impact on the company.